channel. This is a Football Friday with Rashad, which is a special edition. Usually I come on at 10 o'clock, but I feel to do it early. It's 6 o'clock, so welcome to another episode, if you will. Another episode of Football Friday with Rashad, Football Friday with Rashad. Let's get into it, man. We here to the end. It's the end of the regular season in college football. It's just tomorrow. That's it. Tomorrow the regular season will conclude. So let's get into it, man. To recap of last week, well, we looked at the biggest game on paper: Indiana #5 against #2 Ohio State. Was anything but, as the Indiana Hoosiers cannot beat Ohio State. They lost for the 29th consecutive time, 38-15. Will Howard had two touchdown passes, including running for one. He ran for one. Caleb Downs had a 79-yard punt return for a touchdown. It was all about Ohio State winning 38-15 as they showed why Indiana's not ready for the big time in these kind of magnitude of these kind of games. And they was able to come out on top, winning by a score of 38-15. Miami beat Wake Forest 42-14. Standout thing about this game right here was the defense of Miami. They had 5 sacks, had an interception by Michelle Powell, 76 yards. They played better defense than they've done in a long time. So see if they carry that as they go to Syracuse tomorrow afternoon. Florida upset Ole Miss 24-17. Give credit to Florida, they're playing very well as of late. Penn State barely beat Minnesota 26-25. Arizona State beat BYU 28-23. Colorado was upset by Kansas 37-21. Devin Neal, the running back, was just on a mission, man. He ran for 237 yards. He was 237 on 37 carries. Let's double check. I know he had over 200 yards. He had 207 yards on 37 carries. 3 touchdowns, including one touchdown catch, as they won 37-21. Hello, Zeus. Thanks for coming on, tuning in, doing Football Friday with Rashad Mitchell. Thanks for tuning in. That was a big win for Kansas, beating them. What's up, Youssef? Thanks for tuning in. All right, we got 20 people on the live feed. Thank you for tuning in. 20 people. Thank you. Appreciate it. It was a big time. Whoever liked the live feed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So that was a big upset. Kansas beating Colorado. Now Colorado won today to end their regular season. Colorado won today. Their season finale, 152-0 against Oklahoma State. Notre Dame beat Army 49-14, handing Army their first loss of the season. Notre Dame's playing very well. They just got to win more game against USC, and they'll be in the playoff. Jeremiah Love had 3 touchdowns rushing, 130 yards on the ground. All right, so let's keep it moving. They had a big upset later on that night in Oklahoma, where Oklahoma upset #7 Alabama 24-3. Alabama still has a shot against the postseason, but this is a big win for Oklahoma because it suffers their season because they're bowl eligible. They're 6-5, and they had a tough time being in this conference. Being the SEC adjusting, but this was a big win for them. The biggest win against the SEC opponent in #7 Alabama, winning 24-3. So that's like a salvageable, season kind of win, season saver, because now they're in the bowl situation. So they're gonna be in a bowl game It's a bowl. They're bowl eligible because of a win like this. So they had to get a win like this to salvage their season. It's a big win for University of Oklahoma. Oklahoma play LSU tomorrow. LSU's not even ranked. They're 7-4. OU is 6-5. Yeah, so you look at this schedule, Oklahoma. This is their biggest win by far. When they played Tennessee, they lost 25-15. They got blown up by Texas, their arch rivals, 34-3. Whoever else like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So this is their biggest win of the season, Oklahoma. All right, let's go over my picks. So we also Texas A&M lost in 4 overtimes to Auburn, 43-41. That was another upset. All right, quickly let's get into the picks of the week for last week. They did pretty good. I was 4-1 on the season. I'm doing pretty good with the picks this season. Let's do a recap for week 13. Okay, I was 4-1 last week. Ohio State over Indiana. I was right about that game. Miami over Wake Forest. Notre Dame over Army. I was right about that game. Only game I got wrong was Colorado over Kansas because Kansas upset Colorado. I was right with Texas beating Kentucky. So currently I'm 51-18 on the season. And tomorrow's final regular season um, Saturday in college football. I got Ohio State over Michigan. Right, that's the third person that liked this live feed. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I got Miami over Syracuse, Notre Dame over USC, Texas over Texas A&M, and Florida over Florida State. So those are my picks of the week for the final regular season Saturday in college football. All right, so let's make the transition, man. Week 14, we got a lot of big games tomorrow. A lot of games. Most of these games with teams that need a game. Even tonight's game. University of Georgia plays Georgia Tech at home at 7:30. That's a big game. That's a rivalry. See if Georgia don't stub their toe. They rank number 7. Today's games from today: Colorado ended the season with a bang, 52-0. Colorado over Oklahoma State. Colorado may not play in the Big 12 title game. I'm not sure they're gonna get in after losing last week to Kansas, but they ended the season on a great note. And this shows you, Deion Sanders did a great job this year, better than last year. Last year, I think they won like 4 games. This year, this is a much bigger improvement. Winning 9 games, 3 losses. They show they played in the Big 12 and they dominated, man, 52-0. Travis Hunter definitely gonna be the Heisman Trophy winner. Wouldn't shock me. Shador Sanders played well today, but Hunter was the big main man today. What he did today: 8 catches, 125 yards. And 3 touchdowns. Make sure that's accurate. The box score. Excuse me, he had 10 catches for 116 yards. Beg your pardon. 3 catches. So he had 10 catches for 116 yards. That's what he did. Boise State beat Oregon State 34-18. This other guy could be up for the Heisman, the running back, Aston Jeanty, 226 yards rushing and a touchdown on 37 carries. So that's it for that. Okay, so those are some of the scores from today. We got Ole Miss against Mississippi. That's about Mississippi. Ole Miss is clinging to a 20-14 lead. 11:52 go in the fourth quarter. Ole Miss has the ball at the Mississippi State 40-yard line, facing a 2nd down and 8. And so that's it. So let's get into uh, Saturday's games. Again, you got Ohio State versus Michigan. You got Tennessee versus Vanderbilt. South Carolina versus Clemson. That's a game to keep your eyes on. Penn State versus Maryland. Notre Dame, USC. Miami versus Syracuse. SMU, they already in the ACC championship game. Miami has to win against Syracuse to get into the ACC championship game. Alabama versus Auburn. Keep your eyes on that. Washington versus Oregon. Maybe keep your eyes on that. Possible upset. And number 3, Texas against Texas A&M. All right, let's keep moving. And that's basically it for the college football landscape. But sad to see it end, man. This season started back in August, and now we down to the end of the season, the regular season. November 30th, man. That's tomorrow, the last day of the month. The season's gonna end, and that's it for the season. Now we get into the conference championship, swing of things next Saturday, and then you get to see who's going to advance to the postseason. Certain teams that are trying to play for something. Right, so that's it for the college football. Let's get into the National Football League. A lot of stuff going on even today. You had the day after Thanksgiving, you had Kansas City hold on for their life and they win 19-17. Again, Patrick Mahomes just finds a way to get it done. Patrick Mahomes set a franchise record for touchdown passes to pass Lynn Dawson for the touchdown mark as they won 19-17. The Rays had a chance to win this game. They missed a 58-yard field goal. Failed to go ahead. Anyway, Mahomes threw his 238th touchdown pass of his career in the second quarter to Justin Watson as they took a 10-3 lead. Again, the thing about the Chiefs, they know how to win, but they're very vulnerable. They're definitely a beatable team. And I think from that standpoint, they can be beaten. But you just got to beat them, especially in these close games. So they find a way to win. They win 19-17. No surprise there. No surprise that the Raiders came to play. They had nothing to lose. They're not going anywhere, so they had to play hard and try to knock off Mahomes and the Chiefs, and didn't do it. So big win for the Chiefs. No surprise there. They had a chance to get in. They was in field goal range, actually, the Raiders. They had the ball at the 32-yard line, and they botched the snap. There was no fumble. Botched snap, and they had a chance to win this game with 15 seconds remaining. And they're within range. So with this win, the Chiefs clinched their 10th consecutive playoff berth. They'll be in the playoffs, no surprise there. So the Raiders have the same record as the Giants at 2-10, and the Chiefs are 11-1. Now let's get to yesterday's matchup. Obviously today, the Chicago Bears, no surprise, fired Eberflus. Due to the time, management had something to do with that because the thing about the Lions, they were down 23-6, and they came right back and was able to 23-7. Was able to come right back, and Caleb Williams played very well. He showed why he was the number one pick in the draft. He made his throws. He was on point. He made his great reads. Got the ball to the receivers that he needed to get to. Keenan Allen, whoever may concern, he was able to just play lights out football at the quarterback position, and they just fell short at the end of the game. But they could have tied the game, but the mismanagement with the clock, having one timeout, not able to take advantage of that. That's what did him in. That cost Matt Eberflus his job. He was fired today, so that's not a good look for the rookie quarterback. Now you got to deal with a new head coach next year. The Bears should have won this game. I mean, they outplayed the Lions in the second half, and but give credit to the Lions, they was able to hold on. They win 23-20. They go to 11-1 on the season. So they have the same record as the Chiefs. I think they're still the best team. Despite winning this game, they did lose one of their linebackers, Malcolm Rodriguez, he's out with a torn ACL. It was not good. He had 2 sacks this year, started 6 games this year. Um, so now the Lions they signed former Pro Bowl linebacker Quan Alexander from the Broncos practice squad. So he will be filling in for him while he's out for the season. So they won 23-20. The Giants, no surprise, lost to the Cowboys 27-20. Nothing else to go about that. Giants is a disaster of a team. They'll be in the middle of trying to be the number one pick in the draft, had no one pick in the draft. Then the Green Bay Packers beat Miami 30-17. No surprise there. It's just that Miami, the cold weather aspect of things. This game got out of hand early. They jump out to a 14-0 lead. Just can't handle the cold. Gotta be something why they don't play well. And they don't play well against good teams sometimes. Look at the schedule who they're beating on the schedule, even though they've been playing well up to this point. Let's look at who they're beating. Okay, they beat the Jacksonville. They lost to Buffalo. Lost to Seattle, who's in first place, tied for first place. Again, obviously Tua was out. But still, it is what it is. Lost to Tennessee. Beat the Patriots. Lost to the Colts. Lost to the Cardinals. Lost to Buffalo. Okay, beat the Rams. Beat the Raiders. Beat the Patriots. But again, most of these teams that they beat are not that good. So they just can't beat teams that are good, the Dolphins. And Tua played pretty good. He had some pretty good numbers. Look at his numbers. He had 365 yards, 2 touchdowns, 37-46. Not bad. But not good enough. All right, so that was on Thanksgiving, and I'll talk about today's thing. Look back at last week's games. The Colts lost to the Lions 24-6. That's what stood out to me. The Chiefs barely beat. Again, they keep winning these close games. They won a close game today against the Raiders. They did the same thing last week against Carolina, 30-27. Pittsburgh got upset by Cleveland, 24-19. Dallas won a wild game against Washington, 34-26. Maybe Washington's not that good. That's their third straight loss that they suffered. And they lose to Dallas. Tennessee upset Houston, 32-27. What's going on with Houston? Houston's don't look good as they accustomed to being. So that was a surprising result. Minnesota beat Chicago 30-27. Another close loss for Chicago. How about those Denver Broncos, man? Bo Nix is playing very well. He had 16 touchdowns on the season. He surpassed Marlon Briscoe for the most touchdowns thrown by a rookie quarterback. You got to go back to 1968, Marlon Briscoe. Confidence in that feat. But Bo Nix set the record. He has 16 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. So finally, for the first time in a long time, you got to go back to Peyton Manning, that Denver has truly a quarterback, as they won 29-19. The floundering San Francisco 49ers lost again. They under 500. They're 5-6 right now. They got to play Buffalo this coming Sunday night. They lost 38-10 to Green Bay. Again, 49ers just don't have it this year. Simple as that. Seattle and Arizona. This was a big game. Seattle was able to be tied for first place in the NFC West. 16-6 was the final score in that game. Who thought that going into December that the two teams that are in first place, fighting for first place, would be Seattle or Arizona and not the 49ers? You think the 49ers would run away with it, but it's not the case. And also, due to some news, Purdy is expected to play this Sunday against the Bills, but Williams, the offensive tackle, and Bosa are out. They're not going to be playing, unfortunately. Trent Williams is out, and Nick Bosa is out. The Amador, Lenore, he's out. Aaron Banks is out. Jordan Elliott is out. So this team is just hurt, banged up. It's not their year. It's not their year this year. And how about those Philadelphia Eagles, man? They won 7 straight. Saquon Barkley put on an MVP season, 255 yards rushing. 26 carries, including 2 touchdowns on 72 and 70 yards rushing touchdowns. They got a great offensive line. They got Hurts don't have to do that much because they have so much uh, greatness going on in the backfield with Barkley. Yes, he has AJ Brown and Devontae Smith and stuff like that. But when you have a strong run again, you got a chance. And they won 37-20. Their defense playing well also, man. They playing great defense. I think they number one defense. They're not allowing 300 yards to total offense, less than that. Baltimore beat Chargers 30-23. So that's the thing too. Why they're on this long winning streak is that you look at their defense. Their defense is outstanding right now, playing outstanding defense. Philadelphia, which serves a big time matchup between Philadelphia and Baltimore. Where you got the two best running backs, and Derrick Henry and obviously Saquon Barkley, two of the best running backs. Vying for that rushing title right now. Saquon Barkley is in the lead. He has 1,392 rushing yards, and Derrick Henry has what 3,325, something like that. Let's go check. Let's go check. Yeah, 1,325, and Barkley has 1,392. And this is the first ever matchup between two 1,300-yard rushers this early in the season. So this is a historical aspect. This matchup: 9-2 Eagles, 8-4 Ravens. This is a big game. Keep your eyes on those two guys run the ball. Obviously, take Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, but those two backs. Keep your eyes on who's going to be running the ball particularly well. But this is a great matchup, fantastic matchup because you have Baltimore, no one ranked offense against the top ranked defense in Philadelphia. Again, they've been playing well. The Ravens and the Eagles are 1 and 2 in rushing, and Baltimore has the number 2 ranked rushing defense. Obviously, not great against the pass, but they good against the run. So we'll see about that contrasting styles, how they stop the run this week against this Sunday against the Eagles, how they shut down Saquon Barkley, and vice versa. How he was unstopped, Derrick Henry. So this is a fantastic matchup. Great, fantastic matchup. This is going to be a good one on Sunday. And Lamar Jackson's 23-1 in his career against NFC teams. Keep your eyes on that. All right. Let's look back at it's a week for last week before I get into what you need to know about these matchups this week quickly. All right. Last week I was 4-1 with the picks of the week. I was right with the Lions over the Colts. I was wrong with the Commanders over the Cowboys, but I did get the Packers over the 49ers right. Chiefs over the Panthers, Broncos over the Raiders. So I was 4-1, so I'm 43-17. So let's get into the games. Actually, I picked Chiefs over Raiders today. For that game today. So I was right about that. Chiefs beat the Raiders. So the 4 games that I have left for Sunday, I got the Eagles over the Ravens. I just like the Eagles, where the Eagles playing, man. They're playing excellent defense. Then they got top-ranked defense. Saquon Barkley's playing at MVP level, so I think that's going to continue against the Ravens. I think Jalen Hurts is going to do what he does best with those receivers. I think Devontae Smith should be back. I think he was out last week with a hamstring injury, something like that. So if he's back, AJ Brown, that open up the offense, play action, go deep, because that pass defense of the Ravens are not good. The Ravens defense is not good against the pass. So I think the Eagles going to win this game. I got the Steelers over the Bengals, Seahawks over the Jets, and the Vikings over the Cardinals. See if the injury report, see if Philadelphia going to have it back. Devontae Smith. I don't think he played last week. So I want to check, see Devontae Smith's playing this week. Okay, he has a hamstring injury. He said Friday he's not sure he'll play. So he may not play this week. So no, he's questionable. Devontae Smith. So he may not play this week. He didn't play last week. All right. All right, so let's quickly get into what you need to know about this Sunday's matchups and Monday night's matchup. Let's get into it. As we go into the fourth quarter of the NFL season, man, this is it, man. This is when you know how good you're gonna be. This is a stretch run. It's not like, oh, got time, it's early. No, once you get into December, you definitely can't lose any games, get into a slump. All right, you're gonna start with the matchups. We'll start with. I'm not talk about all the games, but we'll see. Once you get into December, man, it's the fourth quarter of the season. It gets very, very serious. All right, we're gonna start with the Falcons and the Chargers. This is a good one right here. 7-4 Chargers against the Falcons, 6-5. The thing about the Chargers and Justin Herbert, excuse me, they have struggled in the second half of games. He has the third best QBR, 74.7 in the first half of this season. Back. So he has the third best QBR, 74.7 in the first half of this season, compared with 29th in the second. So Los Angeles averaging 8.4 points per game in the second half, which ranks 30th in the NFL. He only scored 10 points in the second half against the Ravens on Monday night. For the Falcons, before weeks 10 and 11, Kirk Cousins had never had 2 consecutive games without a touchdown pass since becoming an NFL quarterback 11 years ago. So it won't get easier for him because why? Because the Chargers have allowed the 8th fewest touchdown passes this season, 14. The 9th lowest pass EPA, minus 34.6. Now, sad to know is that the Falcons have 10 sacks this season, their fewest through 11 games in history, the fewest by any team through 11 games since the 2018 Raiders. Steelers and the Bengals. It's a big game for the Steelers. The offense of the Steelers still ranks 30th in the red zone. Scoring percentage not good, but they're going against the Bengals red zone defense that is among the worst. They allowing opponents to score touchdowns on 71% of the trips in the red zone. But Pittsburgh went 7 quarters without a touchdown before scoring 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns against the Browns. So the Steelers got to get it done in the red zone. They have a chance against the poorest red zone defense in the Bengals. For the Bengals, Joe Burrow's career best season will be tested against one of the best pass defenses in the league in Pittsburgh. They lead the league in opposing QBR 51.2 because of his zone defense. Primarily a cover 3 look, which is what they use. The Steelers are second in zone QBR and have 10 interceptions in zone coverage. But the offense of the Bengals ranks 4th in zone QBR, 78.4. Sad knows that Burrow has 3 straight games with 3 or more passing touchdowns. That's tied for the longest streak of his career, the longest by a Bengals quarterback since 1970. It's a good game right here. Cardinals and the Vikings. 6-5 Cardinals against the 9-2 Vikings. Keep your eyes on the Cardinals, how they bounce back from losing to Seattle, um, how they play. Because loss to the Vikings could send Arizona further down the standings in the NFC West, so they need to get a win. Now, for the Vikings, interesting, they have not lost to the Cardinals at home since 1977. They have won 11 consecutive games against the Cardinals in Minnesota, including the postseason. Their biggest challenge is Kenny Murray, who ranks fourth in the NFL in rushing yards by a quarterback, 380. The Vikings defense allowed 33 yards rushing against Caleb Williams, but it ranks first in the NFL over the season in the fewest rushing yards category, 95, and the lowest average yards per rush, 2.6 by quarterbacks. Stat knows that Vikings quarterback Sam Darnold has 14 turnovers this season, tied with Gardner Minshew for the most by any player in the NFL. This is a terrible game, but this is a big game for the Colts, though. They're 5-7. Patriots obviously out of the playoff race, 3-9. Jonathan Taylor has seen his production fall dramatically in recent weeks. He did enjoy a stretch of 400-yard rushing performance in the span of 6 weeks earlier in the season. We have struggled of late. The past 2 games only averaging 46 yards a game, 2.6 yards per rush. For the Patriots, quarterback Drake May's 10 touchdown passes have gone to 10 different receivers. That is tied with the Broncos' Steve Ramsey from 1971-1973 for the most consecutive touchdowns to a different receivers to start a career. Seth knows that Drake May has thrown an interception in 4 straight games, the longest such streak among 2024 rookies. Seahawks versus the Jets, not a great game, but a big game for the Seahawks. Geno Smith returns to MetLife Stadium to face the team that drafted him. So his star-crossed history with the Jets is not as important as his present situation with the Seahawks. He has led. He's ranked second in the NFL in passing yards, 3,035, but he leads the league in interception with 12. He's carrying the offense with no running game and a below-average offensive line, having a solid season. For the Jets, obviously coming from bye week, begins the final home stretch of his career. Aaron Rodgers, who is undecided on whether he will play, who he will play with, what team's going to play with, whether he will play next year or not in 2025, we'll see. He's undecided. But one positive about Aaron Rodgers is that he has gone 139 consecutive pass attempts without an interception, covering 4+ games. Stat knows that last week, Geno Smith was sacked 5 times for the 3rd game this season. Only Deshaun Watson 4 and Will Levis 5 have more such games. Commanders and the Titans. The thing that stands out with this game is that when you look at the Commanders, for example, during a 3-game losing streak, they averaged 99.3 yards rushing and 4 yards per carry. But when they were 7-2, they averaged 163.9 yards rushing per game and 5 yards per carry. Now they're going against a Tennessee defense that has allowed just 3 yards per rush in the past 3 games. So see if they can attack the air with the passing game. Washington, the Titans have allowed 7.9 yards per attempt since week 10. Site knows that Titans wide receiver Calvin Ridley is third in the NFL with 451 receiving yards since week 8. And it's behind Cortland Sutton, 467, and Puka Nacua, 455. Texas and the Jaguars. The Texans have won 11 of the past 13 games against the Jaguars. They defeated Jacksonville in week 4, 24-20. C.J. Stroud had 345 yards with 2 touchdowns. In 3 career games against the Jaguars, Stroud has thrown for 929 yards, 6 touchdowns with no interceptions. Stat knows that the Jaguars are 4-6 in one-score games, 8 points or fewer, which is tied with the Bengals for the most such losses in the NFL. Then we go to the 4-5, 4-25 games, including nightcap. We got the Saints and the Rams. Keep your eyes on the Rams, man, because in 12 weeks, the Rams outside linebacker Jared Verse is leading the rookie class with 51 pressures. According to the NFL Next Generation stats, he has taken 66.3% of his snaps from the right edge. Saints left tackle Talise Fuaga is having the upset start to Verse, with the lowest pressure rate allowed by any rookie this season, 7.4%. Sack knows that the Rams' Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua are the only wide receiver teammates that have 400 receiving yards each game since week 8, when they both returned to the lineup after injuries. Panthers and the Buccaneers, not a great game, but the Buccaneers still have a shot at the playoff. For the Buccaneers, they stepped their 4-game losing streak against the Giants last week. The advantage this week is that the Panthers defense allows a league worst 160.6 rushing yards per game, while the Buccaneers is averaging 128.1 rushing yards per game, which is 10th in the league, after ranking last in 2023. Sad note that against the Giants, the Buccaneers had 4 players score a rushing touchdown for the first time in franchise history. It's the best game right here. Arguably, yeah, definitely the best game of on Sunday. The Ravens and the Eagles, 9-2 Eagles, versus the Ravens at 8-4. For the Eagles, Saquon Barkley, obviously running back, is on a tear. Conference career best performance, single game career highs 255 yards. He had 302 yards from scrimmage, leading the league in rushing, 1,392 over Derrick Henry, who's going to be on the opposite side in this matchup, has 1,325. So this will be a smash mouth matchup between two of the best runners in the game. The Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson has a 23-1 record against NFC opponents. Is the best by any quarterback in interconference games since 1970 merger. But he's facing perhaps his biggest challenge against the Eagles, who have won 7 straight. During his winning streak, Philadelphia has held quarterbacks to 140.2 passing yards per game and 5.4 yards per pass attempt, which both are the fewest in the NFL over that span. Sad note that this will be just the second instance since 1972 teams meeting in week 13 or later. This will be just the second instance since 1972 teams meeting in week 13 or later who are averaging 180 yards rushing per game. They got the nightcapper. This is a must-win for the 49ers to keep their playoff hopes alive. They haven't lost 3 games in a row all season. They play the Bills, who are 9-2. The Bills can clinch the AFC East with a win on Sunday night. They won all 5 home games this season, while scoring 30-plus points in each contest. Obviously, San Francisco is banged up, but Josh Allen, the quarterback, will play the team he grew up cheering for, was the 49ers. He's from Fireball, California. He will have to prove his candidacy for MVP in prime time against the 49ers defense that's forced only 1 turnover in the past 3 games. It's tied for 20th in points allowed per game, 23.6. Stat knows that the 49ers had 18 penalties in their past 2 games, both losses, which is tied for the most penalties in 2-game span over the past 5 seasons. And finally, we got the nightcapper on Monday night. Must win for the Broncos. Not a big deal for the Browns, but Broncos trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. They're 7-5 against Browns 3-8. For the Browns, Jerry Jeudy returns to face the Broncos, the team that drafted him in 2020. Then trade him to Cleveland in March, the 4 inconsistent seasons. But it was a trade Jeudy told ESPN he desired, and he has flourished over the past month. He's ranked 10th in the receiving yards, 379 yards since week 8. But he will be tested going against maybe the best cornerback in the NFL, and Patrick Surtain II, who has allowed 182 yards on the nearest defender, the second fewest among cornerbacks with at least 200 coverage sacks. Broncos storyline, keep your eyes on, obviously, Bo Nix, how he's going to be able to protect Bo Nix, because Browns defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz is 18-7-1 against rookie quarterbacks as a coordinator or head coach. His defense is 5th in the league in dropbacks that result in sacks 8.8%. Peyton has tried to make it up-tempo to halt opposing rushers. But he might have to run the ball more to give the Cleveland defensive front a reason to slow down to get weight to the quarterback. In the win against the Las Vegas last week, the Rays blitzed more than Peyton expected. The Broncos ran just 16 times. Stat note that the Browns have an NFL worst 27% third down conversion rate, which is their worst through 11 games since 1999, 25%. Of course, that's it, man. I'm done. We'll look at the NFL and college football for the Football Friday. Rashad will be back to do another live feed on my YouTube channel on Monday. Monday, I'll be back to do it. Classic books with Rashad Mitchell, and on Monday, but not just Monday, Sunday, I'll be back. Definitely Sunday at 9 o'clock for the week that was an NBA. Look at week 6, the games that I played this week. And that'll be it as far as that's concerned. So that'll be on the docket next week. This coming Sunday, the week that was an NBA. Then Monday, classic books with Rashad Mitchell. Get into that. Then got a lot going on next week. A lot of great stuff coming up. I'm looking forward to it. They're gonna read a new, different book, sports book. I know what it's gonna be. I just gotta know, put it out there on my YouTube channel for next week. So until then, talk to you on Sunday for the week that was in the NBA. I'll be reviewing week 6 in the NBA. This was Football Friday with Rashad Mitchell, live on my YouTube channel. Until then, thanks to those who tuned in on the live chat and stuff like that and watched. Until then, talk to you soon on Sunday.